Porsche's all-new 911 was revealed at the LA Motor Show in November, but it's only now that we're able to gain a full understanding about the work Porsche has put into its performance flagship. Based on an all-new platform with a new gearbox, interior, and heavily revised engine, it promises to be more than just an update, instead taking Porsche's rear-engined range topper into the future. Hello and welcome back to the Luxury Lifestyle channel. If this is your first time around, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on bell notifications. Today we'll be taking a look at the new Porsche 911 in detail. The new 911 is based on a fresh modular platform developed by Porsche for its sports car range. Also new is the interior and the way the driver interacts with it. But all the while, Porsche is adamant that driving interaction and pleasure have been core to the new 911's development. The new car will also eventually spawn the first hybridized 911 model. But how much battery and electric motor intervention will eventually be applied is still being kept close to Porsche's chest. It's available to order now, but before you spend the day on the Porsche configurator, here's an in-depth look at the new 911. For the first time since the 993 generation, Porsche's rear-engine sports car will once again be offered in only two body sizes. Unfortunately, one of these won't be a narrow body, but rather a size more akin to the wider shell that had previously been the preserve of the Carrera 4, GTS, and standard GT3 models. Porsche has also widened both the front track and the front fenders by some 45mm to create a far more cohesive design while improving front-end grip, stability, and traction. Overall, the length is around 20mm up compared to the 991.2. However, the wheelbase has remained the same. Underneath the new skin is an all-new MMB platform designed and engineered by Porsche. The platform will not only underpin the 911 and its numerous incoming derivatives, but also the next Boxster and Cayman. The modular bit of this new platform is everything behind the front bulkhead, with the floor and rear subframes able to be modified to suit rear or mid-engined applications. The 911 is still constructed from a combination of different steels, high-strength steel and aluminum, and now features a total of 13% cast aluminum components within the chassis, a 4% increase on the 991. The 911's exterior body skin is now also aluminum, while the roof is now to be specified in a variety of materials, such as glass or carbon fiber, with an aluminum skin standard, and magnesium once again likely to be used for future 911 GT models. The overall weight has gone up marginally, but the body in white is actually lighter than the 991 that went before. Porsche has also promised a third different model will be built off the new MMB platform within the Porsche lineup and be used outside of the Porsche model range too. Will this be a future McLaren 720S rival? We can only speculate at this stage. At launch, Porsche will only release the more powerful Carrera S and Carrera 4S, both using a significantly revised version of the same 982 3-liter twin-turbocharged flat-six engine, now known as 982 Evo. Power is quoted at 444 bhp, with 406 pound-per-foot of torque available between 2300 and 5000 rpm, 150 rpm higher than before, but made up for with shorter gear ratios, according to Porsche. These figures match the outgoing Carrera GTS, but the engine isn't the same unit as the previous GTS, with significant work put into how the engine breathes. Fitted to the flat-six are two new turbochargers with optimized intakes to keep the performance completely symmetrical on both turbos, something not managed on the 991.2, thanks to packaging constraints. This is in part due to the work done on the 911's charge air coolers, which have been moved from the area under the rear lights to the space above the muffler. This change in plumbing, aided by a new cast manifold, has allowed Porsche to de-stress the turbo components, ensuring that the full 444 bhp, and a whole lot more in future variants no doubt, is available consistently no matter the conditions or altitude. Added to the new turbos are the latest particulate filters and now a new exhaust system. This newer engine outperforms its predecessor in terms of acceleration, top speed, and fuel economy and emissions. A lower-powered version of the engine will be introduced for the Carrera and Carrera 4 models. While the engine has been through an incremental update process, the PDK gearbox is all new. Despite gaining an additional ratio and many of the mechanical elements having been replaced with more packaging-friendly electronic components, including the shift mechanisms, it's the same physical size as the outgoing unit. However, if you were to open it up, you'd discover an unoccupied area for the electric motor required for any of the hybrid plans Porsche has for the 911 in 4 years' time. The new PDK is rated to 590 pounds per foot of torque, 37 pounds per foot more than the current GT2 RS. A possible ceiling figure for the next GT2 RS, perhaps? In terms of chassis, the adaptive PASM damper system is once again an option. So too the company's sports chassis. The former lowering the ride height by 10 mm, the latter by 20. Rear wheel steering, torque vectoring, and a mechanical limited slip differential will also be available, but it's the introduction of a further driver mode called Wet that's most intriguing. Using sensors in the wheel arches, the system monitors noise from within and detects if the road surface is wet. When it does so, the stability control and ABS systems are primed accordingly and the driver is notified, allowing them to make the call as to whether they wish to select the wet driver mode via the rotary control on the steering wheel. Should they choose to do so, the throttle's response is softened and the Porsche traction management system is optimized. The evolutionary approach to the exterior is the opposite of the new 911's interior. Few elements have been taken from the recent generations of 911, but the fascia was inspired by the G-Series generation cars, and is home to new retro-designed switchgear and an instrument display that features a centrally positioned analog rev counter flanked by a pair of TFT screens. A 10.9-inch monitor sits above the transmission tunnel for the latest infotainment system, and is also where you can fine-tune the car's dynamic technology such as night vision assist and the emergency assist system that's linked to the radar cruise control, and offers a low level of autonomous driving in certain conditions. The glass-finished transmission tunnel is very reminiscent of what you'll find in a Panamera, and features a gear selector that only allows you to select reverse, park, neutral, or drive. If you want to change gear manually with the new PDK box, you'll need to do so with the paddles behind the new 360mm steering wheel. But that's it for today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.